Welcome to Curation Conversations. I have got a fantastic guest with us up here, Anna Barker from OAAA. Yeah. And we're very fortunate to have you in the room. Thank you. Please introduce yourself. Talk to us a bit about your role and the company and what you're doing.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here in such a beautiful spot overlooking the city. Very inspirational and beautiful day. So Anna Barker, I'm the president and CEO of the OAAA, which is the Out-of-Home Advertising Association of America. So we are the National Trade Association for Out-of-Home, which covers all kinds of out-of-home, digital out-of-home, static out-of-home, programmatic video, the gamut, and all the different formats ranging from billboards to airports to transit to what we call place-based, to street furniture, like all of out-of-home basically. And we, we promote the industry. We believe that out-of-home has a much bigger place in the media landscape. So we do a lot of research, we do events, we're out there talking about it, such as you and I are now. And then we also are the main lobby organization for the industry. So we do a lot of work defending and, helping the industry in the courts.
It sounds like an incredibly busy and involved role, but I can't help but think like out-of-home as itself is in this revolutionary time. But, there's a lot more conversations with the rise of retail media, commerce media, like kind of bridging all channels together through out-of-home seems to be something of like such a shift that we've seen over the last year, maybe? Where do you see it?
I mean, I think we're not to talk about the pandemic, but it's still hard not to. It's kind of fresh in memory. But, coming out of the pandemic when, most people were not out of home. We've really come out of the gate sprinting. The industry has had an amazing resurgence and comeback. And, we are connected to, because we're physical, we're contextual, we're in real life. And therefore, there's a strong connection to other types of media, too, and especially, obviously, commerce and retail, because we can help drive people to the store, help them as they leave the store, really inspire purchases and, send up offers and things like that. So there's a strong link. But I think in general, the industry has gone through huge transformation the last 10 years with it going from a very static medium, no matter what format, to a digital medium, which of course means that we are much more flexible now. You can get up messages faster. You could serve ads programmatically or in an automated fashion, and you can use data to better help inform decisions. So we're in a very good spot, and we're the oldest form of advertising, but we are one of the few that is still growing. So it's an exciting time for out-of-home.
Yeah, it's a brilliant category to be a part of with all the innovation that's coming through. And what I think is really so important when it comes to the digital element of out-of-home is that creative production. Like you get to have such brilliant brand experiences with digital out-of-home that you don't necessarily have on a display banner on a laptop.
I'm biased, but I would agree. I mean, it's as an advertiser, you own the full canvas, right? You're not inserted into another type of media where the consumer actually, or whoever the viewer is, consumer or business person, went there to read or watch or do something else. And then you're being interrupted by an ad. You're not in out-of-home. You're in a location. It's very contextual. If you want to see the ad, you see it. If you don't, you just kind of walk past it. But, so from an advertiser perspective, you can own the full canvas. The message, the ad is the content. And then obviously it's a larger format. So you can do a lot of fun things and it can be very striking. If done right, you can have incredible success with it. And not just that actual ad, also the amplification that then comes if somebody likes it and they share it. So content and creativity is really what's driving this medium and what's helping with the growth we're seeing right now. And I think just like harnessing those amazing opportunities, especially in digital, again, being able to use all these new things that you couldn't before, like data and programmatic, has meant that, it's a good time for the industry.
So with that in mind, is there barriers to entry when you're using data to inform like, targeting. Is measurability an issue for kind of programmatic digital out of home or any of the digital out of home? Or is it pretty straightforward in this kind of new era and evolution of how data? I mean,
like anything else, digital and programmatic, you kind of know a lot more where the ad was being served and that it was being served. Measurement is an area in out of home that is under construction.
Okay.
But it's getting a lot better. And I think for us, especially now with AI and other forms of technology where you can really combine large data sets and get better understanding of outcomes, it's getting easier and easier. So no, I wouldn't say so. I think we're in a pretty good place there, but like measurement is a problematic area for all types of media today. So I don't know.
This is
but
true. You're not wrong.
I think out of home is different because we're not a one-to-one medium.
Yeah,
we're one-to-many. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a little different how we view audiences.
Very true.
That means that it's a very privacy safe medium. You can target because you're not targeting a specific individual, even though you know a lot of somebody based on where they are and the context and what's going on, what time of day it is, whatever it is, right? But you're not targeting a specific person, which means that it's very privacy safe. But at the same time, it also means that we don't have all the information about the consumer that you might want to have.
Yeah, I guess there's some brilliant kind of proof points around being able to target multi-generational families, so therefore you can actually improve storytelling, but also that kind of family influence around like kind of point of sale and retail and actually build better brand stories. So I think it's fantastic where it can get to.
Look, you really can. And again, it speaks to creativity in out of home and how important it is and the content that you're putting up there because you have an opportunity to reach more than one. I think also, and I say this a lot, especially in the US, we're living in a very polarized world and consumers tend to go to the media that they like and they believe in and they're not really open to any influence, right? Like depending on political views, you might look at certain news outlets or watch certain shows or buy certain brands or you're kind of sticking to your lane because it's tricky right now.
Yeah.
Us, because we're out in the real world, if done right, you can actually change hearts and minds and convince consumer to go in a different direction because we're there for everyone. And it doesn't, matter really who you are and what you believe in. We're just out there in real life. And because our ads are very visible, and again, if done right, you can actually turn consumers that you wouldn't normally get to through out of home and different generations and things like that. It's very cool.
I love that. It's creating real change, isn't it, for brands and being able to help them find and discover new audiences as opposed to that one-to-one addressability that we can kind of sometimes get stuck in a rabbit hole.
I think so. And I think it's thinking a little bit different about how you approach a consumer and, really following them, but in a non-intrusive way from the living room on their daily journey straight to the store.
Yeah.
Or wherever they're going, restaurant, whatever it might be.
I love that. So with do you think there's a disproportionate amount of investment into out of home compared to like the opportunities that you've talked through?
Yes, definitely. I think out of home is a very misunderstood medium. In the sense that it's seen as very complicated and hard to buy because we're a lot of different things. But again, with programmatic and automation, the ability to use data, you can really now buy out of home across both all the different formats, but also tie it to other media formats. And with that, we hope and we think that there will be a lot more investment. It's the last standing broadcast medium. We have more audiences, I would argue, than any other media format, including some of the big social platforms, definitely television. So with that said, we're about somewhere between 3 and 5% of ad spend. Should be a lot more.
Yeah.
Again, I'm biased, but I think so.
But this is fine. This is why the expertise are here.
No, I'm saying what I'm thinking.
I think that's such a good point around being able to intrinsically find pockets of value to help build upon digital planning and activation and optimization of audiences because you are kind of bridging those audience experiences to drive better brand outcomes, but also just this really wealthy and kind of beautiful engagement for consumers and like people in their everyday
Well, they're
lives.
viewing our ads as a service for the most part. It's sort of public messaging. And I think for brands, it's an opportunity to not only create more reach, because you can, reach a lot more. And, you'll catch a few people that you didn't even intend to reach that you will convert, right? But the frequency of the advertising message done in a very different way than it would show up on a display or, a smaller screen is very cool. right? Like you can really reinforce what you're trying to say and do it in a way that consumers appreciate and don't feel tracked or targeted.
Yeah, this is true. And where do you see it going? What do you think are like the kind of next big steps? Are you going to be disrupted by AI as everything seems to be at the moment?
No, I think for us, I think everything will be disrupted by AI, but what does that mean? I think, and it's a little bit up in the air, I think around the sense that I think marketers are still kind of grappling, what does it mean for them? But I think one of the biggest problems for marketers today is where do you find the audiences, right? Like they're not where they used to be, or they're not delving into media the way they used to do, because now, frankly, you can get answers really quickly and recommendations just by searching, right? Not a problem for us. Our audiences are always there, will always be there, because it's out in real life, in the real world. Yeah. So the audience problem is not ours. Creatively, AI can be incredibly helpful because we can do things faster and better and more informed by using that type of technology. I mean, it's a great sales tool for anyone. So I think that that's an opportunity too. And then, I alluded to it before, measurement has been a little bit of a problem for out of home because there's so much data that we need to process to be able to come to real outcomes and things like that. I think AI enables us to measure better and process a lot more data. So I think for us, the way I view it right now, it's a real opportunity. I think we just have to be more out there and talking about it. And then, it's going to change the world and businesses and industries. We don't quite know where that's going to go. But if you look at the broader advertising and media landscape, I think we're in a much better position when it comes to AI to not just, harness the efficiency, but also set ourselves apart from some other media platforms, compete better.
Yeah, it feels like it's not disrupting, but kind of helping lower the barriers to entry to be able to make out of home more accessible.
I think that is true. And Rishad Tabakawala, who used to be the chief strategist at Publicis Group, and I say this all the time, so if somebody's seen me speak before, they're going to be like, oh God, not again. But I'm going to quote him because I think it's a brilliant quote that describes our industry really well. He said, out of all the different advertising platforms, technology always poses a challenge, right? Like you had print, then that became radio, and then all of a sudden there was television, and then there was the internet, and now there's whatever it is, retail media, or social. Technology and the ability to improve something or come up with new types of media is a challenge for the older formats. Out of home, which is the oldest format, is really only improving with changes in technology because it's so specific. It's location-based marketing. It's physical. So whatever type of technology, if we embrace it, it can actually amplify and be better. So we're excited for it.
I love that. And is there any brands that you think that are doing such fantastic work that you need to call it out?
Oh my God, there's so many brands that are doing great work. I mean, I'll just mention a few because it's a huge media format. I think that there are a lot of challenger brands that are doing really great work. I mean, just today I did a panel here at Advertising Week with Sloane Stephens, who's a tennis, very famous Jewish tennis player also, and philanthropist, and also has a skin and hair care brand called Doc and Glow. And she is, again, a challenger brand, but she's really leveraging the connection between cultural events, sporting events, such as the US Open, and obviously she's a big name in those circuits, and connecting that to her brand and out of home can help with that and show up during those times. Yeah. I think we'll see a lot of that during FIFA next year, where a lot of brands are activating. And again, the physical presence of signage and the strong connection to sporting events, I think will help us. So I think we'll see a lot from different brands there. Apple is a brand that pretty much solely, a lot of high-tech brands use out of home, but Apple does beautiful, not so much digital, mostly static, kind of landmarky type of out of home. We've all seen it. Yeah. They use it a lot. A lot of the AI companies are now using out of home. You see a lot if you walk around New York right now, around Advertising Week, you see signage for AI companies everywhere because it's fueling the industry. Yeah. QSR, fast food restaurants in general are doing a lot of fun, interesting, creative out of home. And then, you wouldn't think of this category as a particularly creative one, but law firms are big advertisers in out of home. One of my favorite billboards ever I saw in Florida said, "Just because you did it doesn't mean you're guilty." I think
creative license.
Yeah, that's good creative.
Yeah, I love it.
No, so I think there are. I can't. Obviously McDonald's, they do a lot of fun creative things. Heinz
Yeah.
does like some of these CPG brands, but entertainment industry. I mean, the list is endless. I think it doesn't really, as long as you know the audience and the location, and you have a simplified message,
Yeah.
not too many words, and something that's memorable, out of home is a great outlet for what you're doing. But I think if I have to pick one, unfortunately, maybe because, they're not doing a lot of digital, but Apple does really great work.
Yeah.
They do.
No, that makes sense. The beauty of the spaces that you can take up creatively, and as you said, the audiences that you can find. I mean, we as a business are more and more getting, campaigns and briefs through that are inclusive of multiple channels. Now, I won't say omni-channel, I'll say multi-channel, because we're not bridging kind of measurability across all of those channels yet, but definitely to kind of find audiences in the right location at the right time and be able to link that to their mobile phones or where they are in CTV, I think is becoming something that is a growing trend within programmatic and curation, that we're just seeing so much opportunity to grow.
Look, and that is another, like who's doing a good job? Like I was thinking about creative, but like obviously commerce is another part of it, right? Like, so what does great mean? I mean, who's driving real results and, conversions, and, that out of home can be used for that too. I think the connection, especially with commerce and retail media, is really strong. The ability to inform someone in the moment when they're going to purchase something and direct them to it and maybe serve them up with an offer and maybe even make it possible for them to buy it then and there is another great thing. And you see tons of brands doing that. So
yeah, some incredible experiences at that point of sale that, enables us to actually shift the dial for brands.
Yeah, absolutely.
And create more value for their customers as well. Oh, I love it. So we are at Ad Week. What are you looking for? I know you've done a panel already today, so you're absolutely storming it out of the gates. What's the rest of your Ad Week look like? What are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, I think, first of all, I'm a little not taken aback, but taken aback in a positive way. It's so vibrant and crowded and full. I think it's been years since I saw an Ad Week that was as,
Awesome.
well attended at this one. So just hanging out and networking with people. I think I'm done. I'm doing a few interviews, but my big content part is done here now, and it's just Monday. So lots of parties and networking, and hopefully I'll catch some good sessions too.
That's nice. No, really pleased. And thank you so much for joining us. And talking about your dogs earlier as well, I think actually we should probably have you as a return guest so we can just do a dog podcast, I'll be honest with you.
I can, that's a topic even closer to heart for me. So I would love to do that. Like, sign me up. I'll do it. I can even bring my dogs if I may.
Please do. I mean, the carnage, but I'm here for it. That'd be beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Ad Week. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.